Hi, I'm Jeff Goltz, and welcome to Ventriloquist University. Today, I'm going to be interviewing a friend of mine I've known for quite a while and a staple in the ventriloquist community, the one, the only, Kimberly Miller.
Hello.
How are you, Kimberly?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Now, Kimberly is a staple here. I want to start out with how we met, because this is why I wanted to do the interview in the first place. How did we meet?
A long time ago, I had Figure Fashions where I would come and I would sell my puppet clothing and dress everyone's puppets at the convention. It was really fun. And you were just a little thing. I don't know how old you were. You were young. And a couple little boys, little Pete Michaels, he was your little buddy. And you guys would come and hang out at my table and just hang out there all day long. And it was so fun. You'd help me sell clothing. And then I'd say, hey, I'm going to lunch. Will you sit here? Oh, sure. And I'd forget about it. And I'd come back like 2 hours later and you would still be sitting there. I was like, I love little Jeffy. I called you little Jeffy, and so I gave you a whole bunch of puppet clothes and,
Oh, yeah, you treated me so well.
Fun. We had a good time.
Absolutely. And at the time, we knew you were a pageant person.
Yes.
You had all the clothes, you had all the fashion,
Yes.
and you've always been so beautiful and glammed up. And so, of course, us boys, we were like, oh, yeah, we'll watch your table forever.
You'll do anything. Yeah.
Anything for you.
Yes.
So in that, I wanted to start about your journey in ventriloquism. How did you get started? And we'll start to go from there and kind of weave our way to what you do now.
Yes. Well, when I was very little, I remember seeing Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop on television. I would take my own socks and I would put them on my hand, color faces, ruin all my white socks, but I wanted to talk like Sherry Lewis. And then I never had any puppets, though, growing up other than that. And then as I got older, I got into magic a little bit in college. And then I had a pastor at my church who was a ventriloquist. So he kind of took me under his wing, Pastor John Robinson from Virginia years ago. And then after he passed away, it was really hard. But he was just an amazing inspiration in my life when I didn't have anyone else to help me. And anyway, so he continued, I continued my ventriloquism journey then, and I got into pageants. I did the Miss Ohio pageant, and that was my talent. And after that, I started later in life. I got married, had a family, had kids, and so now I have a daughter who loves ventriloquism, and it's been really fun. And now I coach girls all across the country who are doing pageants, so that's for their talent.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. I have to compliment you. Let me tell you, Brickell,
yes.
a beautiful name and a very talented daughter.
Yes.
It is. It sounds French.
Yes.
Brickell. But I was thinking to myself, knowing that she was a ventriloquist, why would you name your daughter something that starts with a BR?
Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. All my kids are BR. My husband's BR. And it was so cute. She's a twin with a boy. So Brecken and Brickell. It was so cute. But she just, it made her a better ventriloquist because now she's had to master the BPV, WF&M. And
oh, yes.
She can do it without moving her lips just perfectly. So
it's brilliant. I was just thinking, man, what a name.
What was I thinking?
What were you thinking?
I don't know. It was hard.
So how did you get started in coaching pageants after your journey of going through the Miss Ohio thing?
Yeah, it was several years after I competed that somebody in the pageant Miss Ohio system had called me and said, hey, we have a girl here. She wants to be a ventriloquist. You're the only one we know. Would you be interested in coaching her? And I'd never really thought about doing it before, but I said, sure, let's, I can show her what I know. And so she ended up winning talent at Miss Ohio, went to Miss America. She won Miss Ohio as well. She won talent at Miss America. And I was like, okay, there's something, I have a knack for this. Because one thing, pageant ventriloquism is so different in a sense. You have 90 seconds to wow the judges in that amount of time. You don't have time to build a character. You don't have time to build anything, really. You just have to wow them. And you're either good or you're not. They either love it or they don't, and then that's it. And you wait and see what they say. So after that, I just started getting more and more people from different states, and I've coached several girls. They've all gotten at least top 10. I just had another Miss Tennessee talent winner this year, a couple months ago. I had a top 10 Miss Ohio. So I love to help them because when I was doing pageant ventriloquism, nobody was there to help me. Nobody knew it. I just I was self-taught. I was literally self-taught. I would come to the convention. I learned from so many people at the convention, but it was still like you only have 90 seconds. So don't move your lips and don't most of them sing because that's kind of impressive. And if they can't sing, they usually sing to a song. But you have to really do a lot of moves that make it exciting and entertaining and all that into one package in 90 seconds. So it's a little tricky.
A little tricky.
Yes.
I think that it's easy to write off pageant ventriloquism, and a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And as myself as being a professional ventriloquist,
Yeah.
it's so difficult to do 90 seconds. I would way rather have 10 minutes
Yeah.
or even do an hour than do 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Because you have to establish the character.
Yeah.
And, it's that get into the groove. What is your advice? How do you start? What do you start with?
Well,
to get to a point where you can do 90 seconds.
Sure. Well, the first thing is you need to pick a song. I have a girl who, she's not a great singer. She can't really sing, but she just won talent. And it's because when it's something like that, you have to really emphasize certain words, put personality into it, do a lot of movements with a puppet that are cute, that are funny. We may here at the convention call it, it's a little cheesy and not something we would do in our acts for our 10-minute acts, 6-minute acts. But in 90 seconds, you have to do little things that, that was cute, that was funny, that was impressive, that was, that's all the judges know of you is that 90 seconds. So you have that time frame to do as much as you can. And most of the time it is a song because, like I said, if you just did straight comedy, that would be for any comedian to do an amazing routine in 90 seconds. And I mean, how many 6 jokes per minute you're supposed to have? Well, you have a minute and a half. So, and I try to put a lot of funny things as they're doing their movements, but a lot of it is about the movement of the character, making them come alive and not being just, a dead puppet up there. So I try to make it very animated, exciting, and they do their best.
Wow.
So.
Wow. And so what got you into wanting to actively help people? It was just that call, and then more people came? Was they just flocked to you?
Yes.
Like a moth to a light?
They would see like on Facebook or on in their local pageant, or they would say, "Thank you, Kimberly Miller, for helping me." And then another person would see it. So it's kind of just word of mouth. It's not like you don't really advertise for that, or I haven't anyway. It's just been word of mouth, and just more and more come every year. I have 2 or 3 students a year. But yeah, and it's really fun, but I love helping these young girls. I love giving them, everybody else has a coach. The dancers have dance coaches. The singers have singing coaches. The whatever talent they do, they have coaches for that. And it's so hard to find people that, there's a lot of ventriloquist coaches out there, but not somebody that knows the pageant world. I've judged a million pageants. I know what judges look for. I know the time frame they have. I know what they need to do to wow the judges in that amount of time. And that's just been my experience because I lived it. So it's going to be hard for a random ventriloquist coach to fully understand that side of ventriloquism and what it takes to win a pageant talent. So,
yeah, and I think that what you're getting at there, and it's important to hit on, is that this is a genre of ventriloquism.
It is very niche.
I think that there are genres.
Yes.
And you have to know your genre.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the game.
I do.
You know every side of it.
Yeah.
So if you want to do pageants, you talk to Kimberly.
Yes.
That's been the word around the convention for quite a while.
Yeah.
Is you're a pageant. If you talk to Kimberly,
Yeah.
Kimberly knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Now, if I ever wanted to do pageants, what advice would you give me?
Well, currently, the Miss USA are taking other genders. I think I don't want to get into that. But yeah, what was the question?
It was a joke question, but also slightly seriously.
Yes.
If I wanted to get into pageants, what advice would you give me?
If you want to be a pageant ventriloquist,
yes,
call me up and let's start working. So yes, and I do FaceTime. Most of my clients are all FaceTime. They have driven 8 hours to come and see me, and they'd stay at my house, and we work for 2 days and just do like a crash course in it. And but yeah,
it's kind of like, it sounds like almost like boxing, like you did a boot camp.
It's like a boot camp.
Yeah.
You can do a ventriloquist, but I've done that. I've had 2 different ladies drive to me I used to live in North Carolina. One drove from 8 hours literally and just stayed and worked, and we got her routine. It worked. She got second runner up in her state pageant. And so it's, the one thing that I don't love is that I I've been a ventriloquist since I was a child. I love ventriloquism. It's my love. But a lot of these girls, they do it because they need a talent. And I get that. At first I was like, oh, are you ever going to do this after the pageant? And oh, yeah. But they don't. And that's okay. I've gotten past that to where this is my love. It doesn't have to be they don't have to go on and make a career out of it like I did for 10 years working for an entertainment agency. But I mean, that's okay, because it's their dream is to do a pageant and win a title, and they do need a talent. And, maybe they didn't have money to take dance lessons their whole lives, which would invest thousands of dollars over the years, or maybe this is just, and I help them buy a puppet and help dress them and, and tell them this is the look you need to have with your puppet. So I try to make them the overall package. And I really, truly enjoy helping these young women who, they want to have a talent and they want to be confident and they want to win. So that's my goal in doing that as well.
So, if a young kid is watching right now who's interested in getting into pageants,
yes,
where do they start?
Well, they can email me, call me.
Okay. Cool.
I have a website. They can just reach out to me, and we'll get to all that. Okay.
We'll put that in the description,
yes.
And you can check it out.
Yes.
And I'd recommend you check out Kimberly if you want to do anything with pageants, or even just a FaceTime, one lesson for advice. I think she's she's worth her weight in gold.
Yes.
Okay, there's no one else like her. So now I'm not familiar with pageant ventriloquism.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with all of it. So I'm trying to construct questions right now. But I want to know, what would you want to share? Like, is there anything you want to share about what you do, your journey in this,
yes,
or the future?
Just, anyone who tries this, they're going to see it's not easy. It is hard. It is hard work. The girl who won the talent at Miss America, she came to my house every 2 weeks for 9 months before she was ready to put it out there on stage. But she worked hard. She practiced. She listened to what I told her. She didn't listen to, you're going to get a lot of cooks in the kitchen when they see you're doing ventriloquism. Okay. So she listened. She practiced, and she became an amazing ventriloquist and a well-deserved talent winner. But they have to really love it too. Especially when it comes to children. I have a daughter who's 9, who's here today, and I started her off in pageants. She's kind of decided she doesn't really want to go that route right now. She wants to pursue other things, and she's an amazing singer, and she has other performances that she wants to do as a ventriloquist and a singer, not necessarily in the pageants, and that's okay. But they have to love it. And she started ventriloquism when she was 6, and I was kind of coaching her. Then after a while, I realized I don't want to coach her anymore. I want to be mom. So I have a couple people have worked with her, and we have somebody else working with her now, Gary Owen. And, he's helped me see that, this is important, that first of all, that they love ventriloquism. She didn't really love it when she was 6, but she did it. And so I backed off, and about 8 months ago, she came to me and said, I'm ready. I want to do it now. I want to learn this now. And I said, okay. So we got back into it. And then I realized, I don't want to coach you anymore. I will support. I can guide. But it's like that mother-daughter thing, like, Mom, I don't want to practice. Okay, or if she wants to practice, she'll do it on her own, and that's what she started doing that on her own. But I love she has her own voice coach. She has her own ventriloquist coach now, and I can just be the mom that loves and supports. And I think that's how parents need to be in a lot of ways, because I do not want to make her do one thing she doesn't want to do. I don't want to push her in it, because it doesn't work. Kids ultimately, they make their own decisions, and they let you know.
Yeah. And then,
so I love that I can just be mom now and be a support,
That's very beautiful. I like that you
Thank
said
you.
that. And, I got started with working for P. Winkle's Puppet Studio and the Melchior Marionettes, which is a 4-generation all-female puppet troupe.
Oh, wow.
And so it's one of those things about the tension between mom and daughter, and, whether they chose it or whether they were almost forced into it, and the dynamic versus the people who end up choosing it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's their calling.
Yeah.
And you're giving her that chance. And I could see it on stage today.
Thank you.
She really was.
She has fun now. She has fun with it. When I took that step back and said, okay, Brickell, you want to sing? We'll just do singing. We don't have to do ventriloquism. That was my dream for myself. That's what I did as my career for 10 years. I said, it's not yours. It doesn't have to be yours. And then several months later, she came to me and said, well, I want to do it, Mom. And I really want to practice on my own. And she does now. So it had to be her wanting to do it. And so I had to see that. I didn't see that at first.
But didn't that warm your heart?
Yeah, I was like, well, good. Okay. If you really want to, okay, I guess I'll let you do it.
Man, really pull my leg on that one.
But I had to realize that I needed to step back and not be her coach. Of course, when she does something that's, Gary tells her to do something, and, if he tells her, oh, okay. If I tell her, Mom, it's like, but if he tells her, it's right. But at least since I know ventriloquism, I can see, oh, she's doing that wrong. I gently can guide, now and say, oh, why don't you try it like this? Or what did Gary say again? I can say that type of thing to help her, stay on track with it. So it's really a good balance.
And I'm curious to know, because there's a social aspect of this convention about being around other people who also do what you do. I'm curious to know, has that changed anything, meeting other ventriloquists? And also, do other pageant ventriloquists know each other, like we know each other?
Two of my girls that I was working with in June, they found each other on social media. I never tell who my clients are. I keep it all confidential, but they find each other. It's amazing. And I love that. And they support each other, and they wrote each other messages on Messenger, right, like before their competitions, like, good luck, and I hope you win. I hope we can both go to Miss America this year, things like that. So I love the camaraderie. I think that's great. And I love today when the kids were performing, or before they were performing, they were all sitting there waiting, lined up in their chairs. I don't know if you saw, the boys were sitting there like this, and the girls were like, with all three of them had their puppets. I like your dress. Oh, I like your dress. You look pretty. Oh. That was so cute. We got like a little video of them, just like they were nervous excitement, and the boys just sat waiting.
Yeah.
So I love that. She's making friends, and their puppets are making friends with each other. So that's great.
And that builds their act and their comfortability with one another. And I think that's
and they
so
supported
beautiful.
each other. They were clapping for each other. And afterwards, we went out into the hallway, and they were like, oh, good job, Raquel. Good job, so-and-so. So they were all just like, I love that. And that's how I want it to be. I want it to stay fun for her. And I want to always encourage her to encourage others, and just have it be fun, because that's the way it should be.
I agree. And do you have a lot of fun coaching?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say I'm a little bit tough.
I could see that.
I'm a little bit tough, because if my name is on this act, like any coach, if your name is on that person that you worked with them, you want them to shine, and want them to put out their full potential. So I am very adamant about, if I'm going to work with you, you're spending money, you're paying me, you need to practice. This is like, don't waste my time, don't waste your time. And they do, and they practice, and I establish the boundaries and their goals that they need to set every week. We're working on this, and then 2 weeks later, whenever we have our next lesson, we're going to move to this. And so I have to be firm, but I want them to be their best. And I'm proud, I'm not bragging, but I'm proud to say all of my girls have either won talent or gotten very close. And I love that. I'm really proud of them.
I'm impressed with what you've done. I mean, I've seen a lot of your work. I mean, especially the Miss America thing, where I was like, wow, that was brilliant. And you could tell that she put the work in.
She did.
And any good coach, pretty harsh. Yeah. You have to
You're
know.
lovingly firm.
Yes.
Because you want them to be their best. It's like a little bit of you is out on that stage. A little bit of me was when she won talent at Miss America. I was so proud. I was like, I gave her some of my little things I used to do, and I never made it there, but I'm glad that she did, and it gives me goosebumps, because I really get happy. I get so happy for them, and I'm so proud of them. And it's like, I put in the work too, working with them. We all put in the work, they have to do the work, but I invest my heart and soul into it as well as a coach. So I love that part of it.
Wow. Yeah. And so you're open for new clients?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't work with real young ones, because first, when she was doing pageants, I didn't want it to be a conflict of interest where she would be competing with another girl that I coached. So I kind of had a limit of, like, I'm not working with, somebody 13 and under. I'm not doing that. It's too close to her age, but she's really not doing pageants right now. So, but usually it's more the teenagers that are in like the teen pageant on up. So, yeah.
All right. Well, this has been so enlightening.
Good.
And I think it opens up a whole new world to most people don't get to hear about the pageant ventriloquism. Yeah. And I want to bring back to the fact that for those of you who think it's just singing on stage with a puppet, I dare you to go up there and try to do well in 90 seconds and get off and make it tight and flashy and, pop. I saw it funny. For me, and I perform all the time. That's sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
It really does. 90 seconds and have to do, and you find a way to do it. And it says a lot that you've done this journey and got to the point to help so many other people.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
Do you have anything else you'd like to share or say?
Just thank you for having me. And if you want to be the next Miss America ventriloquist, call me.
Yes. And if you are interested in being coached or having any type of interaction with Kimberly, we have the information right below this video. And feel free to check out her website and see what she has to offer. And by the way, it's a pleasure and it's great to see you again.
Thank you for having me. It's great.
I just little kid Jeff. All grown up.
All grown up. And I'm so proud of you. You've done so much with your ventriloquism and just grew up into a handsome young man. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that you're still here and doing what you love as well.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. Well, thank you for watching Ventriloquist University. My name is Jeff Goltz. This is Kimberly Miller.